Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. So there's, Kate and I are here, Chad and Mark are on internet. Mark has Chardonnay or Tanqueray or something at his house.
Hello.
Merlot?
You don't know my dog's name yet?
No, I keep
Cabernet.
messing it up. Cabernet. So, first item is additions. Hi, Tammy and Matt. Matt, can we see you on the treadmill or exercise bike or whatever's behind you for the meeting? Oh. Are there additions or deletions to the agenda?
The voting number.
Have any updates on, somebody take me, a second.
You okay, buddy?
Somebody taking minutes?
You want to take them?
No, I said, do we have an update on somebody to take them?
No, we're in, I'm
We do
gonna
not.
ask, I'm gonna ask Bill about that under minutes. And then Mark, did you check into that, or do you want to bring the voting member up? For Wyndham Central?
What?
The Wyndham Central voting member.
Oh, I won't know till 2 o'clock the day before, what the.
Well,
what-
yeah, but we won't
what-
be able to have a meeting that quick, so I think we should.
But you can appoint an alternate in case I can't make it.
Right, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to.
Oh, okay, nope. If there's nothing else, we'll go to members of the public, which I don't think there is any. Members of the staff, which I don't think there is any. Old business, transportation request, that's still on hold, that's just a placeholder.
That is correct.
Okay, and then financials, action, we don't have any financials.
No, we did it at the first meeting.
Okay.
Those two we just rolled.
So those two items are done. Principals reports, we had a written principals report I read. So we're gonna let Tammy go first. Tammy, you got anything else for us?
Nothing really to add except for what we had written in the report. How's everyone doing tonight on this snowy day?
Never better. Chad's not in the city anymore either. I like that.
I'm home.
Matt, you got anything to add, sir?
Nope, nothing other than the written report tonight.
Does anybody have any questions for Matt or Tammy?
Not at this time.
Cool. Superintendent's report was the first meeting of the month. And then there were some questions about the Burton Academy Sending Town. Bill has not heard back from Burton yet, so we're gonna have to push that off till the next meeting.
Yeah, so based on your meeting last week.
Update on that.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
The next day I sent you, or maybe it was, I don't remember. I don't even know what fucking month it is.
Hey, language.
I sent you an update. It's in the Oxford English Dictionary, it's usable. I spoke to a board member from Taconic and Green. They do pay the 19.2, but they use their leverage to pressure that a little bit lower than they normally would in some years, not every year.
Yeah, but you also had a question about the sending school status. So I asked Bill to check into that. Did we not?
That's the email I sent to the headmaster. I just haven't heard back yet.
Okay. And so people know, we did go to Brattleboro, Leland and Gray, and Wilmington at one time. And Wilmington and Twin Valley used to offer us a deal. If we had like 60% of our, do you remember that deal?
It was 60.
60% of our eligible secondary students going to Wilmington, they would give us a,
It was like a 20% discount. I mean, it was pretty significant. That was-
Leland and Gray at the time had no interest, and Brattleboro didn't even want any of our students. If not for the West River Accord, they probably would have kicked us out, but, so Bill will follow up on that. Mark, I don't remember seeing that, so if you could just look for that again and send it to me, and we'll just attach it to the minutes.
It was just what I just said. I didn't forward you in the email to you.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just, because I spoke to the, I spoke to the member on their board.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
I wanted to correct, or at least partially correct what I had said at the last meeting.
Okay. Gotcha. Informational meeting prep. So we have, are they in the packet?
No.
Good.
We have just the notes.
So we have two things coming, two meetings. I'm gonna get them wrong. The February 20, thank you.
Second half of your minutes.
Oh.
Yep.
So February 6th, at the beginning of the board meeting, we're gonna do an informational meeting. We did get hold of our moderator, school district moderator, who's gonna attend, and just go over the articles that we're gonna vote on, both by ballot and from the floor the following day. And then February 21st, we'll do the same thing in Dover, but that's just gonna be the informational meeting. So we don't, if people are on vacation, don't feel like that's, the meeting on the 6th is gonna be more important, as is the meeting on the 28th, because we have to count ballots. 27th is gonna be the vote, and then the 28th, we're gonna meet at 6 to count votes, and at 7:30 to have the in-person meeting to, and the meeting is gonna be to, change it, I'll get to you in 1 second, Mark, to change annual meeting to April. So go ahead, Mark.
We don't need to have a meeting to change the annual meeting. The legislature passed a law extending, well, it expired on January 15th, but through the July of 24, I think, that the legislative bodies can move their annual meetings by a vote of their members. They don't need to hold special meetings.
But we want to make a permanent change.
To our annual meeting?
Yeah, that was it. That's what the question is to have our annual meeting be the last Tuesday in April.
I thought this was the only time that we were doing that.
No,
It was just for this one meeting, not.
no, we were trying to move it so that instead of having it in February, we could have it later in the spring when we had all our budget numbers and see what the legislature was doing and try to do a more accurate budget. Am I missing?
Well, that was extremely unclear because I had absolutely no idea about that.
Chad's gone. Hang on, Mark.
We don't have a quorum.
We're not having a meeting. We lost our quorum. You think the internet just as bad over there?
Oh, he could have lost power.
You could have lost power again.
I don't know what to do.
Chad's back.
Oh. Hang on, Mark. Chad's back, and then that way you don't have to repeat yourself. Sorry.
It's fine.
Chad, let me know when you're good, buddy.
I'm all set, thank you. Just did not have the power cord securely in, the laptop just went dead. So we're back on. Thank you. for
Well,
your
it's better than you losing power, losing internet service, which we weren't sure.
Right.
So, Mark,
Yeah.
go ahead and start from the beginning. I'm not sure where Chad cut out.
So I was not under the impression, what I voted on was just to move our upcoming annual meeting. We had spent, when we when we asked the voters to move it the last time, we spent time looking 10 or 15 years ahead, I forget which, at Easter and Passover to make sure we weren't going to be holding a meeting on those holidays. There was no talk of that. This is absolutely the first that I've heard that this was a permanent change. Everything I had heard was that it was for this upcoming year because of the change in the makeup of the board.
No, because it's in our rules of, Articles of Agreement, that's why we have to,
Okay.
we had a vote to change it the first time. Chad, what were you voting on?
At which point? So,
On the annual meeting?
as far as moving the days,
Yeah, so I thought we were voting to move it permanently, and Mark doesn't believe that. Mark thought it was just for this 1 year.
I did not recall discussion either way, frankly. And I apologize if I missed that, but I'm at a loss as well.
So then, yeah, we can just pass over it.
I was just saying, it's probably going to be a moot point because Mark is correct. H42 has passed the General Assembly. It's waiting to see if the governor passes it or doesn't sign it. We won't know that until the 30th, at which time, Mark is correct, the board will have the ability until the end of 24 to designate that date. So I
But
think
we still have to have a meeting because we'll still have to vote to do the change how we vote. 'Cause
Yes,
We
you're
brought
still-
that to the voters.
And you guys have talked about this so much, and I think they're both going to accomplish the same thing, but this is the most transparent way, the path you've taken. You didn't know this other path existed. I would continue down the path you're on. But Mark's correct that you'll still have the opportunity to make that change if you wanted to.
And so what we're going for with this meeting is we're only doing the one, like we're.
Well, no, if
we're-
they vote on that, we won't do anything. We can just change it by a board vote.
Okay,
And we can change it for the next 2 years.
23 and 24.
Right.
And
And then
if,
it's a moot point.
right, and if you want to change it permanently, as Mark suggested, looking out 10 to 15 years, you guys can do that in 24 without any change to what you're currently doing.
And we won't have to have that special meeting to do that. We could just do that in an annual meeting. Okay, is that good with everybody? I'm sorry. Mark, are you good with that? Is Mark froze?
Yeah, so I obviously I can't guarantee it, but I've heard that the governor is going to sign it, so I don't
Yeah.
think that's going to be a problem.
So we'll be, and we'll know at the end of the month, so at the special meetings, we can just say it's for this, we can say, we're gonna ask people to just pass over that. We don't need to vote on that first article.
But I
Because,
thought that's all the meeting was for.
no, it's also how we,
Listen, it's also for the Articles of Agreement for, like,
for how we vote for board members.
I'd look at
Right,
it.
but that's Australian ballot.
Oh, was that on the Australian ballot?
is it in Australia? It's.
Mark,
voting in each
I did
town.
not get to get my school board bag ahead of time. I thought we were voting the board members too, so, no, you're right, it was just the one article.
Yeah, it was just,
Yeah.
it was just to postpone, it was just to so we would still have to meet to
We still
count.
have to do it because it's
Right.
not law yet.
Right, and we also have to have the special meetings anyways because we want to explain the ballot vote.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Yes, so we gotta meet anyways. We gotta have the special meetings, but we may be able to cancel, and we'll know that by next
You'll know it on the-
Tuesday, right? The 30th?
Yeah. At the 30th, we'll know where we stand.
On the 30th of what?
7 days from today.
Okay. So we can, yeah, so if the governor does sign it, then we don't need this we don't need the special meeting because we don't need a meeting to count. We don't have to warn a meeting to count the votes because it's not a school board meeting. It's a Board of Civil Authority, and you guys are going to get appointed as, we're all going to get appointed as deputy ballot people or deputy election officials. So okay, we'll keep track of that, and then we can add that to the budget. So, okay, thank you, Mark. And you know, I just saw somewhere where they said that there is no, the legislature hasn't acted quick like they have in the past.
No, they have passed all that stuff. We're just waiting on the governor.
When did they do
It wasn't quite as quick. Like,
Right.
The Senate voted after it had expired.
Oh, okay.
It expired January 15th.
They did it on the 12th.
Okay, thank you, Mark. So I think we're all good, right? Special meetings?
We'll know where we stand on the
Galen's
6th.
laughing at us, everybody, just so you know. But he won't turn the camera on himself. He'll keep it on us. And then VSBA updates. I think, Mark, you asked for that, right?
Yeah, we up to that already? Give me a second, I just have to find my email.
Okay.
It's just some dates of upcoming webinars. A couple of which I thought were really
6:30.
were ones that would be worth.
Yeah.
Okay, so February 2nd is a webinar, how school boards can support student achievement and close gaps. And I think we missed the other ones. I think they were between the last meeting that we had and this one, so.
Well, it's good to know the February 2nd one because we're not meeting till the 6th.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But we get those, don't they? Let's go to the superintendent's office and you send them out to everybody?
And all of you guys get them as well.
Okay. What else going on in VSBA, Mark? They coming up with any new policies or updates from last year's legislation?
Excuse me. So, one thing I don't think you guys are aware of, last year, myself, Dan MacArthur, and Don Collins from Franklin, I think, moved. We spent the entire year trying to move the VSBA to make a relatively substantial change. In the past, when the legislative session was active, if they went to the executive director and asked for her to testify on something, if we didn't have a meeting coming up, and we only meet once about every month, not quite though, the executive committee made the decision on how the VSBA would, it would make a decision on the position the VSBA would take. The executive committee is made up of 5 people. In the past, it's been made up of people mostly from central Vermont, usually from larger districts. That's different this year because I'm actually on it, but that's a separate issue. So we pushed to have a legislative committee created, which is made up of 1 member from each of the 11 districts, or regions, excuse me. And it's that legislative committee that will be making policy or position decisions instead of a small group of 5, the executive board. That's already been activated once. We've got another one coming up. But we believe that it's a much more democratic process, and one where now all regions of the state have a say in decisions that are, in positions that are taken, whereas before positions were taken such as what was done with Act 46, and testimony was given, and once testimony is given, you can't really go back. You can't say, oops, you didn't like that, so, we're gonna undo our testimony, because then the organization would lose all credibility. So anyway, that's one major change that's been made to the VSBA, definitely for the better. Other than that, nothing too much. I'm on the executive committee this year, so we've got some Southern representation. I think that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mark, for that update. We appreciate you being there. And yeah, it was, I know when I was on the board, Emily was like a vice president, and everybody gets some, I think they rotate up or something once you get in there. No, not
Just
anymore?
elected.
Yeah, okay, well,
Just elected from amongst the board.
well, good luck. So, the only other new business, we were gonna, we have a Wyndham Central meeting on February 1st. No.
Yeah.
Yes, February. And I just need, Mark may not be able, so the three reps are myself, Chad, and Mark. Dwight and Mark, thank you. And I gotta keep bringing my bag. And Mark may not be able to make it. So Chad, is there any chance that there's possibly you may be around that you could jump in if Mark can't make it? And Mark won't know really till 2 o'clock the day before or the day of?
The day before.
Okay, so he'll give you at least a day's notice.
It'll be Zoom.
It's a Zoom meeting too.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. And I think, Bill, you sent that invitation out to us all, correct?
I did, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks like my evening is pretty open at that point.
Not anymore.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Awesome.
So would somebody make a motion to allow Chad to be an alternate if Mark is unavailable?
So moved.
You want to second that?
Kate will second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mark and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all
Thank you,
those.
Chad.
I'm sorry, what?
I just think, Chad.
Oh, all those in favor say aye.
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 It's a unanimous decision. You're not coming in as loud, Mark, as Chad. And you're kind of breaking up. I don't know if your connection is rough, and every now and then it looks like you freeze up on us.
It could be my internet.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
My voice is definitely still hoarse.
Okay. So, Mark or Chad, do you have anything else for new business?
I do not.
You all set, Mark, sir?
Yep.
You all set?
I'll send. So we've got
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, so the next thing is we have the district equity policy, and I think this is kind of
We just wanted to remind you guys that we passed this, remind you that we had our Jedi retreat to talk about our work plan, as the Jedi is an advisory group to all the individual boards and the WCSU board. And part of the work plan for the coming year is to review this policy, which each individual district has passed, and to start working on operationalizing how that policy can look in practice. Now, this will be an ongoing, organic situation, but we wanted to make sure that after the retreat that Rich and I updated you all as a board, that work is in progress. And also, this can be the quarterly update on this policy as is required by the policy to let you know that we are working with the Jedi across the SU to prepare for operationalizing what the policy means. So we just wanted to keep it forefront. We wanted everybody to know that that work is continuing. We didn't want anybody to forget about that work. And we just wanted to make sure that that didn't get into the background.
So if you look at the second page of the policy under implementation, and I don't know if everybody's looks the same, there's 7 items, and just as Bill gave an overview, one of the things that gosh, I gotta tell my mom. My mom would laugh. I was put with the administrators because I was only board member, so there wasn't a group there was a group for teachers, a group for students, and a group for administration. So I wanted to be a group of one, and they wouldn't let me. They stuck me with the administrators, and that was really, really scary because every time I'm alone with an administrator, it's probably I did something wrong in school, which was quite a bit. So one of the things that the administrators kept talking about, or a couple of them, was unpacking the policy. And so I asked them afterwards at a break, what he meant by unpacking. And I think one of the things is there's 7 items on the second page. It's on the implementation, and it's monitor and evaluate, incorporate. So Matt and Tammy, I know we give you guys a lot of stuff to do. So Matt, I'll never talk to you about the school building again, but on this equity policy, if you guys can just tell us, maybe in a principal's report, what we're doing to make sure that we're actually implementing the stuff that we want to have implementation. Besides, I know that the SU is going to be doing some stuff in the Jedi team, but at the Jedi meeting, it was good because you had 3 people there, right? Oh no, she couldn't come because she had a sick kid.
Yep.
You had, the librarian was there, and your counselor.
Yep.
And
Counselor who's in both buildings, which was really helpful.
So if you can just kind of let us know, because the other thing is, we want to also help you too. So if there's something we need, this is really important. So if you could just, guys, take a look at that and maybe add that as a report on your principal's report. I know Bill had a setup, but if you could maybe add, equity and what you're doing to address that.
Great idea.
And that was all I had. Is there any other questions, thoughts, comments?
Just so everyone knows, this is up for review in October of this year.
Yeah.
The VSBA has not made any changes to it.
Cool.
I know, though, the other thing too is, Mark, is one of the things that we wanted to, or had been discussed, is when policy committees get together and discuss policies, is that you think about this and maybe even ask that it be reviewed by a Jedi member before or after. So if you've got policies that are going to be discussed, could we get them to the Jedi team to look at, or how are we going to? Is that something we're going to talk about later? Or?
We're going to talk about that later during
Okay.
operationalizing.
Cool. Is there anything else under new business too? I had one more thing. No. Everybody good?
Everybody's good.
Okay. Consent agenda. Minutes of January 9th, 2023. So we're going to talk about minutes for a second. So we were paying Peter to do minutes, and so it wasn't that he was just volunteering or practicing writing. So as of now, the central office has not been able to find anybody to do our minutes. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is there anybody on the board that would like to get, who would like to do the minutes, and you will be compensated for it at whatever rate we're paying Peter, which we're not exactly sure what it was, but I think it used to be like $50 or $100 a meeting, right?
We'll have to find it out, but yes, it's to take the minutes, it's to review it, and then and to double check sometimes by rewatching the video.
So is there anybody on the board that has any interest in doing that?
The note-taking side is not my skill set as a very visual learner, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh, Matt?
Oh, sorry, Matt. You want to do it?
Well, I just had a thought. We haven't asked our parents, have we? Is that something we might want to consider to see?
Have we?
Sure.
Put it in the newsletter?
Put it in each individual newsletter and let them know.
Right? See what happens?
Great idea.
Have we put an ad in the paper too?
We just posted it on School Spring.
Okay. Can we also at least do an ad in the Valley News, at least for our school?
Sure.
Will you do that, or you want?
I will take it.
Hey, Matt. Yeah, excellent idea. Thank you, sir. Because I guess
Bill, we'll get the job description from you, Bill.
Yes, no
Okay.
problem.
And again, if they can't make every meeting, I think it's okay because they can watch the video and do that. So
I will take care
the
of it.
last meeting, Kate did the minutes, and Kate's doing the minutes, is gonna take the notes, not really the minutes, but the notes for this one. Can we make sure she gets compensated
I
for
will
that?
make sure that Kate gets compensated.
Okay, and then if we don't have something figured out by February, we'll get back together and
Okay.
we'll discuss it.
I will take care of that.
If you do it, if you did the last two, I'll do a couple, and then if we don't have anybody, just to spread it out a little bit. Okay, so if you guys know anybody, let them know. What about the girl who used to work for the newspaper that now works for you?
Miss Nick?
Yeah,
Amelia?
would she have any interest, do you think, too?
I can certainly ask her.
Is that okay? I mean, that's not a conflict or anything,
Not at
because we
all.
used to have staff that doing
Nope.
it before.
No problem.
Yeah, why don't we also check with her?
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of right up her alley. And if she, she's not doing the reporting, I know we wouldn't want it if she was the reporter, but,
That's a good call.
okay. So, is there any, I know you were missing a couple notes.
I was definitely missing the second for the motion to send the edits to make the edits and then send to the
thought that
Bucketville,
was-
Deerfield Valley News. And then there was a
I thought that
second.
was Dwight.
Was that Dwight? I couldn't.
Chad, or Mark, do you remember who seconded the motion to send Dwight's report to the Deerfield Valley News?
The video is for.
Yeah, well, Kate didn't have time to watch the video, neither did I, so,
I can go back, watch the video, and make the edit,
we'll just approve at the
wanna-
next meeting.
and we can
I'll
approve
just,
them at the next
yeah,
meeting.
I will
Okay.
add the 9th to the next meeting.
Okay, so we'll find that
And
edit.
I'll move those forward.
I have no correspondence.
The only correspondence was shared with the board was the staff member.
Yeah, but that's an executive session.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, did you,
Yeah, I had a couple of things on the minutes.
okay, well, just send Kate an email, because we're not accepting them tonight,
Okay.
okay? And again, be gentle with her. She's taking one for the team. Okay, so now,
And can we just, just as a clarification point, the minutes aren't meant to be every single detail. In this case, they're meant to just, the key elements that we're covering are, when we come to order, the key things that we covered, any motions.
Yeah.
And who made the second, and then if we roll call vote, make
Yep.
sure we know who did what, and things like that. We're not doing the level of detail that Peter did at this point in the game.
So that's a change. Because our minutes have been that detailed for, well, ever.
no, I would not say forever.
Yeah, so during this transitionary period,
Yeah.
we're just making sure that we are getting what is legally required and necessary.
Yeah,
Right.
so we're not going for that.
That's
same
what the
level of
video's
detail.
for the detail. If we can at least cover the motions.
Yep.
I've been struggling a little bit, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have a quorum if I bail. So you can't do your executive session.
No, we can enter.
You can't come out and make a decision.
It's okay. Oh, because you can't participate.
Right, so you only got 3 people, so you won't have a majority of the board. You'll have half the board.
I don't think that's a problem because we needed a quorum to open the meeting. We're going to need a quorum to close.
Once I leave, the
We're going to
meeting's
need a
over.
quorum to get into executive session. You're just not going to participate in executive session. Doesn't mean you're not physically there. You're going to abstain from any vote, right?
Yeah, but then it won't be a majority of the board voting.
So you can not participate. You can abstain if there's a vote outside of the executive session.
Right, but then you won't have a majority, so it won't pass. It'll be a push.
But your abstention still counts though as a vote.
Exactly. It'll be 3,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
and you just won't participate in the conversation.
okay,
I think that is legal.
okay. Let's, if you guys don't mind, let's do it that way, and then if Bill will just check and make sure that it was legal, because I don't know where Dwight is, or Dwight or Laura are.
Do we know what the topic is?
Yeah, it was a request from a staff member. February 6th, Wardsboro Board Informational Meeting. We're doing that at the school. You're all set for that, Tammy, correct?
We are, and I believe Matt and I are presenting some information on winter benchmark data.
In the regular board meeting.
Yes.
Okay, February 21st, Matt, you got somebody setting up the school for us?
I certainly can. What are your wishes for that?
Probably just what we kind of have tonight, just some chairs and a chairs and a table for those board members that make it. It's just strictly informational on the ballot vote, hopefully, if the governor signs that paperwork tonight.
So February 6th is at Wardsboro School?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Rich,
Yep.
you want to set up like a Zoom like you are now with the TV as kind of the
Yeah,
focus, or
that's
just
right.
a panel?
So I will not physically be here on the 21st. I will be out of the state. So we can do it, I just can't run the Zoom.
I can run the Zoom. Mark, are you around for the 21st? Can you run the Zoom for us?
Yeah.
Okay, let's give Mark.
I'll just ask Mark to get me the Zoom.
Okay, so
I'll send you a meeting.
so it should be pretty easy, Mark. It's just the hopefully it'll just be the article that we're voting on by Australian ballot.
Yeah. And the warning is the agenda.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the 28th, we have the we may be canceling that.
After
But
we
we'll
find
just
out.
there will be enough of us meetings, so I'll have to just check and see if we have to warn that as a meeting if there's a majority of the board there.
Okay.
And I don't know where that's going to be, but we'll get that announced. So, I think, other than that, if nobody has anything else, we have an executive session item for a employee matter.
Well, this is actually based on legal consultation. The reason we're going
Okay.
into executive
Just
session.
for legal consultation.
Someone needs to read that.
So
Yep,
the
she's
second
got
one,
it.
okay. So I'll make a motion at 6:38 PM that we go into executive session, and I only need to read the second one, correct?
Both.
Oh,
No,
both,
both.
okay. For two purposes, I would move to find the premature general public knowledge regarding the legal consultation would put the board at substantial disadvantage because the school board risks disclosing privileged information if discussed in public. And
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
We gotta do them one at a time. Do I have a second to that first motion, please?
Second that.
Okay, so we have a second by Chad, a motion by Kate. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, it's a unanimous decision.
And then I would like to make a motion for the board to enter executive session under Title I, Section 313 of the Vermont Statutes of Legal Consultation 313A1.
Second,
Seconded.
thank you, Chad. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 It's another unanimous decision.
Invite
Matt and
Matt and
Tammy,
Tammy.
can you stick around? We're gonna let Bill stick around too, if you guys don't mind. Okay. Okay, so at whatever time,
At 6:52, we're coming out of executive session.
okay, by unanimous consent, we came out of executive session.
Yes, and I would like to go ahead and make a motion that the board directs the superintendent to grant the request and say yes to the request.
There you go.
Do I have a second to that?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye. Actually, let's do a roll call vote. Chad, how about you?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Kate?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna abstain, but you still have 4 people voting. Abstention counts as a vote, and so the motion passes. You're all good.
All good, thank you. Appreciate the direction.
Okay, is there anything else before we say those magic words that everybody loves to hear? Hearing none.
I would like to make a motion at 6:53 PM that we end this meeting.
Okay, folks. Thank you, everybody.